Here Thursday, we had our bond council in to look at possibility of borrowing money against for the infrastructure of the fairgrounds. What it would mean, how much it would cost, can it be done, so on and so forth. So we're looking at that as a possible financing mechanism for improvements on the fairgrounds as part of the improvements, mainly for the infrastructure. So those are some of the things as far as the fairgrounds, but I'm kind of the numbers guy, and there's a lot of other areas that the county is involved in. As you know, we partner with the city on the ambulance. The ambulance last year made 2,000 calls approximately within the county and the city, and the ambulance cost is about $2 million. So every time you hear that ambulance go, it's about a $1,000 bill. You know, when you look at that. But the question I have for you is, how much of that is subsidized by Lyon County? How much do we make up that revenue? And that's $175 of the $1,000 bill that the county kicks in for maintaining the ambulance. So those are kind of breaking it down a little bit on what it actually costs you, the taxpayer, as far as county taxes, as when we kick in for the ambulance with the city. Also, Chip Woods here a couple of weeks ago gave a report to the Kansas Department of Transportation on what it costs to do the oil roads such as Allen and Americus and the Opie Hartford Road, and also our gravel roads. We have about 150 miles of oiled roads, and per mile, now this is if you throw everything into the pot, your capital outlay, your labor, and commodities, it costs $12,500 an oil mile to maintain last year, just for that. On the gravel roads, it costs $2,880 to maintain a gravel road, and that we have 1,050 of those in the county. So there's big budgets, but there's big expenses to that. Here a couple nights ago, I attended, we partner with the county partners with the city on the landfill. It's kind of amazing to me that the last 2 years the amount of trash going into the landfill was going down, partially due to less construction, less economy, I guess, but possibly more recycling. But probably the biggest news for the landfill is that through the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, they have permitted another 50 acres to be used for the landfill. That's very important because that will provide another 50 years of places to put our trash and stuff and cover it up. Because it takes about 1 acre a year for the county and Chase County. That's how much we use of the landfill. And every year, that's about how much trash and stuff we put in that for use in the landfill. We use 1 acre a year. But so we got permitted for another 50 acres, which will advance this for another 50 years. And that's real important, so we don't have to go looking around. It's going to be on the same site, and we don't have to find another place for a landfill. Also, part of, along with hazardous waste, we treat a lot of acres in the rural county area. We supplement buying the chemicals for Sericea lespedeza and everything. And this is the last 6 or 8 years. You notice the last year here is real high. It's the highest ever. We treated last year, or supplemented by supplementing the cost of chemicals, 40,000 acres here in Lyon County, which is up 15,000 acres from just a year ago, as far as chemical being applied to combat noxious weeds. So those are some of the things other than the county, and I agree with Scott that the budget will, how many of these things can, we're going to be able to, we're going to have to look at more efficiencies and things like this. And, so those are some kind of the numbers and things that we're involved in.
I'm here to answer questions.
Dan, do you have anything you want to say?
I might just say 2011 was a real tough budget. We were trying to wants and needs and everything else, and living with that budget has been very interesting. Our 2011 budget is $26,901,000, and we fund that with ad valorem property tax of $12 million. The rest of it is sales tax, personal property tax, money from the state. We have a lot of programs that are actually funded by the state. prices are killing us. Just as they do, you filling up your tank now is not near as much fun as it used to be. When Raleigh was talking about those oil roads, imagine spreading oil all over those roads so that you can put sealant on top of them. Plus the price of diesel fuel for all the tractors and law enforcement vehicles, LCAT buses, they're tremendous users of petroleum products. And petroleum products are very high, and looks like they could be higher. And it's very difficult to budget for what you don't know what's going to hit the floor next. Part of the problem with the state is that the funding has been cut. Community corrections has basically been shot by a third of what they were a couple of years ago. The big problem is while they were cutting by a third, they were adding more mandates of things they had to do. All the DUI fourth offenses have been dumped on community corrections while they were cutting their funding. And we're running into a lot of places. We haven't just sat on our hands. We're trying to find other sources. We have a $500,000 grant that's feeding through the county. It's feeding the Open Water District, which is replacing a lot of the water lines going to Americas and Admire and Allen, so that they'll have a good water source. We applied for a CDBG block grant. It's $160,000. That we're hoping is going to do a lot more, but because of the federal regulations, is at least going to replace one of the boilers over at the jail, and that's getting drawn to an end. We've got a $1.6 million FEMA grant out there that we're working on to move some businesses out of a floodplain into a safer area. So those are not taxpayer dollars being spent directly, but they are. You paid out of a different pocket for that money to come back here, but we're trying to make sure that the taxpayers get their share. What we've always tried to be proud of is that tax loops are high, and they're higher than we would like them to be, but at least you're getting a return on your investment. We're not wasting your money, we're spending it wisely and as efficiently as we possibly can.
Let's open it up to questions from the audience.
Raleigh, once a road gets paved with oil and the foundation gets built and all of that, once it gets set up and it's in use and kind of settled in, what's the per cost per oil mile versus rock mile? Two roads, same age.
Last year, that's what I kind of gave you. It took $12,500 to do an oil road
Per mile.
per mile, and it took almost $3,000 to do a gravel road
So
per mile.
Okay. Long range, I mean, the gravel is cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in the long range, but you have to put it that way, I guess.
How about over a 20-year period? If you sunk everything or a 5-year period into a mile of gravel versus a mile of oil, which was the oil still going to cost you more than the oil paved road?
Oh, I think so. It's just, I think I saw some figures yesterday on the cost to build a mile of a paved road, not state type specs, but the county type specs, and it was about $350,000 a mile to roading and grading and getting set up to put the first layer of asphalt and stuff. It was about $350,000 a mile to do that. So.
To prep an existing gravel road?
Yeah, if you want to go to an oil road.
I think that's, a lot of those figures came from Road U 200 during our friends at West Star paid a good chunk of that. Thank you, Mark. But I think Chip had compiled those figures on another project that we're possibly looking at.
Curious. I was just thinking of travel, local tourism, travel, be quicker on an oil road, but probably wouldn't offset the cost.
Is the hazardous waste electronic recycling center, is it run by the county, or is it
On e-waste,
yeah?
yes.
Is there a possibility, I know the hours are what, like 8 to 4 or something, but like in my instance, I don't work here in town during the week, so it becomes difficult to find time to, I store up a bunch of stuff and happen to have a day off or something, run it in. Is there a chance that, maybe once a quarter or at some point that some hours could be like on a Saturday?
If I recall correctly, and Raleigh, you were at that meeting, I think a lot of the hours for the hazardous waste coincide with the landfill, and I believe they were discussing possibly